Hello, all you gaming maestros. It is me, the Gamer Musician. And if you have not played Super Mario Odyssey much yet, warning, there are gonna be some spoilers in this video. But hey, with that, let me get started. Today, I'm going to be talking about the long history of what is, to me, simultaneously the best and worst kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey. The Ruined Kingdom, the stark land long past its glory days. Or more specifically, the location Crumbledon. As one of the smallest kingdoms in the entire game, the Ruined Kingdom only contains 10 power moons. Though there is technically a fight from the Mushroom Kingdom's painting that also takes place here. Now, before I get into it, I really just want to explain my own thoughts in the world. Personally, I love ruins. When I see a section in a game or movie that features a ruin section, I usually end up citing that as one of my favorite sections of it. And the mood of the Ruined Kingdom was something amazing. The deep purple and grey stormy landscape, the swords in the ground, all of it. I got really excited. Then I opened up the map. The sheer small size of the Ruined Kingdom really disappointed me. I, to be honest, would have loved it if this kingdom was just a bit bigger. And it looks like I'm not the only one according to the internet. But there's nothing really I can do about that nowadays. So I may as well look at the world for what it is. And as I looked more around the kingdom and through its maps and moons, I noticed something. Nintendo may have only given us a small world, but they packed this world with a lot of lore. A lot of really dark lore. Now, in the main story of the game, Mario and Cappy are riding the Odyssey towards Bowser's kingdom when Bowser shows up with a dragon. Not a dragon turtle or a Goomba dragon, but a literal freaking dragon. Now, this dragon is known as the Lord of Lightning, which is a pretty grim name. But then you look through the world's map and realize how fitting it is, since the whole kingdom is destroyed due to him. Now, if you look at the map, you can clearly see that this entire kingdom, or at least what we're allowed to explore of it, takes place within two platforms. The one towards the southeast, where the Odyssey lands, is known as the Great Altar. The platform towards the north of the map is not given a name, but is known as the Tower Reaching for the Heavens. I'll just be referring to them as the Tower and the Altar from now on, since that'll make this whole video a little easier on you guys and me. Now, it's pretty obvious that this kingdom has been destroyed for a very long time. The Crazy Cab map has talk of scholars, archaeology, and even the name of the kingdom is Crumbledon. I can promise you that no ruler will be dumb enough to tempt fate so much as to name their kingdom after the act of collapsing. Oh, and the description of Crumbledon itself is a grim reminder of past conflicts, which is a pretty good summary of the kingdom. But who could have been the one to ruin the Ruined Kingdom? Well, that's pretty obvious. It's the Lord of Lightning himself. Everything we can see in this kingdom is there to show us exactly what happened. Now, firstly, we can see even the layout of the kingdom. A mostly destroyed tower, and an altar dotted with these swords and claw marks. Both of these areas are perfect fits to help me to describe the history and destruction of Crumbledon. Now, in ancient times, a race of people built a tower up towards the heavens, attempting to harness the mighty power of lightning. However, what these people didn't know was that the lightning they were attempting to control in their area was not natural cloud-formed lightning, and in fact was the power created by the powerful Ruined Dragon. As the tower was reaching closer to completion, the Ruined Dragon descended from the clouds, spewing lightning from its mouth. The residents of these majestic castles realized the severity of the situation and modified the design of the tower, creating a circular plaza at the top, designed to accommodate a standoff with the Ruined Dragon, who by this point, the residents were starting to call the Lord of Lightning. Though this didn't happen. The dragon came down again, and the residents realized that it was sentient and that they could communicate with it. This was when they built the Great Altar to summon him down. However, this didn't last. Humans, or in this case the Ruined Kingdom's sentient race, we'll get to that later, are greedy beings. And with their lust for lightning, they changed. One day, the residents of the Ruined Kingdom finally put their plan into action. They used their great golden stakes to loop ropes and chains through them, restraining the beast, trapping it at the Great Altar. This enraged the Lord of Lightning, who, angered by this betrayal, summoned all of his strength and burst through the chains and destroyed much of the kingdom. This included smashing parts of the towers and many other buildings around it, as well as huge claw marks through the altar and all kinds of other stuff like that. However, what happened to the residents of what eventually became known as the Ruined Kingdom, the betrayers of the Lord of Lightning? Well, that's actually shown in the Ruined Kingdom, but typically it's kept for the post-game. Now, in the Ruined Kingdom, there are 5 moons tied to those moon rock thingies. However, right now, I'm looking specifically towards moons 9 and 10, which basically confirm it for me. Observe. I bring your attention to the enemy known as the Chincho, or as they are named in Japan, Ancient Toasterenans. Now, while most people, again, think of the Sand Kingdom when you see these beings, after this theory, hopefully I can change that a bit. If the Chincho are native to Toasterena, then why are there so many of them in the Ruined Kingdom? But then I started to think about it, and to be honest, it may be one of the most depressing parts of the entire Mario universe. Or should I have said galaxy there? As the Lord of Lightning escaped from his chains, his lightning breath was engulfing almost the entire area. People, animal, plants, and buildings alike were all being engulfed in this electrical storm. Lightning can, for those of you who didn't know, reach upwards of 28,000 degrees Celsius, or 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is approximately 5 times hotter than even the surface of the sun. The thing is, it can be possible for humans to survive this, due to just the incredibly short amount of time which the lightning usually strikes for. But what if a dragon is continually spewing lightning everywhere? Perhaps the people of this kingdom were basically all hit by lightning during this crazy strike. The majority of the people were hit long enough for their bodies to reach hot enough temperatures that their skin and organs melted off, and maybe even their bones would have started to melt, while the small minority were able to survive losing their skin, and eventually ended up wrapping themselves up to prevent their wounds from being visible to the outside people. However, this ruined race was denied even death, being cursed as they fell. This is referenced pretty clearly in Moon 10 in the Ruined Kingdom. While most of these accursed skeletons took this opportunity to escape, even in their mangled form, one group of people were unable to do so. The army, who ended up remaining behind to try and take back and protect their home, and ended up being left behind for good. Over time, the ruined last semblance of this once great city's population visited many kingdoms around the globe. While some of these people chose to remain in some of these kingdoms, the majority settled in the desert of Toasty Roasty, where they simplified the symbols of their people and began to enter a cycle of permanently celebrating the sacrifice of their army and the others who were left behind. And many, many thousand years later, Bowser himself stumbles upon the remains of the kingdom. In his vain nature, he throws pictures of his face on basically anything that is shiny, and even manages to temporarily subdue the dragon, long enough to convince him to fight Mario. And the rest is history. And with that, my gaming maestros, I'm going to end this theory on Super Mario Odyssey. Hopefully you enjoyed it, but if I made a big mistake, or even if I didn't, please feel free to comment down below. I read every comment and try to respond to most of them. And I'd really appreciate a like or a share. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to me for some more video game music themed videos from the Gamer Musician.